Hello, and welcome to my channel, Hopewell Stories. What are the odds? Two babies, same hospital, same day, same hour, born 30 years ago, and now, by a twist of fate, they're standing face to face for the first time. It was a cold December morning in 1994. Snow fell softly over the city of Maplewood. Inside Maplewood General Hospital, two women, strangers to each other, were about to give birth. One was a young woman named Clara, nervous and alone. The other was a woman named Rosa, surrounded by family, laughing through her pain. At exactly 7:13 a.m., the first baby cried. A boy, dark hair, bright eyes. His name was Daniel Reyes. Just 3 minutes later, at 7:16 a.m., another cry echoed down the hall. A girl, tiny, with a tuft of red hair. Her name was Emily Carter. They were born just down the hall from each other. Nurses joked that they shared the same birthday cake, though of course no cake was served that day. No one thought much of it. Just two babies, two lives beginning. But 30 years later, the universe had a plan, the build-up. A life unaware, Daniel grew up in a small apartment above his parents' bakery. He loved the smell of fresh bread in the morning and the sound of his dad singing off-key while kneading dough. His childhood was simple, but full of warmth. He wasn't rich, but he never felt poor. He worked hard in school, studied engineering, and eventually got a job designing eco-friendly homes. He was kind, quiet, always noticing the little things, like how sunlight hits a window at 3 p.m., or how birds stop singing when it's about to rain. Emily, on the other hand, grew up across town. Her mom, Clara, worked 2 jobs to keep food on the table. Emily learned early how to be strong. She was loud, funny, and fearless. She dreamed of being a photojournalist, capturing real moments in war zones, protests, and quiet villages. She wanted to show the world as it truly was. She traveled after college, chasing stories in Morocco, Nepal, and Ukraine. He sent postcards to her mom every week. Still alive, one said. Ate goat cheese today. Tasted like socks. Life moved on. Daniel built houses. Emily took photos. They never met. They never even heard each other's names. But fate wasn't done. The twist: a coffee shop, a broken phone, and a glance. It started with rain. Daniel was walking to work on a Tuesday morning, umbrella in one hand, coffee in the other. He ducked into Brew and Bean, a small coffee shop near his office, to grab a refill. The place was packed, people chattering, music low, the smell of cinnamon and espresso in the air. He waited in line, checking his phone. Then crack, he dropped it. The screen shattered like glass on ice. Great, he muttered, picking it up. No signal. Dead. Just then, a woman stepped up beside him. She had red hair tied in a messy bun, wearing a leather jacket and boots splattered with mud. She held a camera in one hand and a notebook in the other. "You okay?" she asked, eyeing his broken phone. Daniel sighed. "Just my luck. Need to call my office." The woman smiled. "I've got signal. Use mine." She handed him her phone. As he took it, their fingers brushed. A tiny spark, nothing electric, just strange, like déjà vu. "Thanks," he said. "I'm Daniel." "Emily," she said. "I'm just back from Iceland, freezing my toes off." They stood there, talking while he made his call. He learned she was back in town for a photo exhibit. She was staying at a hotel downtown. He told her he designed sustainable homes. She said, "That's cool. My mom would have loved a house like that. Always cold in winter." They laughed. The barista called his name. He grabbed his coffee. "Thanks, again," Daniel said, handing back her phone. "No problem," Emily said. "Maybe I'll see you around." And just like that, they went their separate ways. But something stayed with Daniel. Her voice, her laugh, the way she looked at him, like she'd known him before. He couldn't explain it. The clue: a hospital bracelet. 2 days later, Daniel was cleaning out his closet. He found an old shoebox labeled "baby stuff." Inside were tiny baby clothes, a lock of dark hair, and a faded hospital bracelet. He picked it up. It read, "Baby Reyes, Mail, Doe, December 14, 94, 7:13 a.m. He smiled. His mom had kept everything. He turned the bracelet over. On the back, someone had written in pen, "Cute baby next door, Nurse Jen, next door." He frowned. He'd never thought about who was born with him, but now, curiosity hit him like a wave. That night, he searched online, Maplewood General Hospital births, December 14, 1994. Nothing. Records weren't public, but he remembered the nurse's name. Jen. After some digging, he found a Facebook profile, Jen Thompson, retired nurse, Maplewood General. He sent her a message, "Hi, I was born at your hospital on December 14, 1994. My mom says you were there. I found a bracelet with a note from you, said there was a baby next door. Do you remember?" He didn't expect a reply, but the next morning, his phone buzzed. Daniel Reyes. "Oh my gosh, yes, I remember you. You were so calm. And the baby next to you, Emily Carter." She was feisty from the start, cried the loudest I'd ever heard. Her mom was so tired, but she laughed and said, "That's my girl. I wrote that note to your mom when she asked about the other baby. You two were born 3 minutes apart. I always said you two would meet someday. Call it a nurse's hunch." Daniel stared at the screen. Emily Carter. The name hit him like thunder. The woman from the coffee shop. He pulled up her Instagram. She was a photographer. Her bio said Emily Carter, born December 14, 1994. Chasing light and truth. Same birthday, same hospital, same day. His heart pounded. Was it possible? The search. Daniel didn't sleep that night. He scrolled through Emily's photos, landscapes, war zones, a child laughing in a refugee camp, a frozen waterfall in Norway. And then there it was, a photo of a hospital, old brick building, a sign, Maplewood General, Est, 1923. She'd posted it with the caption, "Back where it all began. 30 years ago today, I took my first breath here. Feels weird to be back. Wonder who else was born that day." The post was from yesterday. Daniel's hands shook. He typed a comment, "I was born there too. December 14, 1994, 7:13 a.m. He hit send, then waited. An hour passed. 2. Just as he was about to give up, his phone buzzed. Emily replied, "No way. 7:13. I was 7:16. We were neighbors at birth. Small world." Daniel smiled, then typed, "We've already met. Coffee shop. Broken phone. Red hair. Ring any bells?" Silence. Then Daniel, "The guy who dropped his phone. Oh my God, that was you. And then, I knew there was something familiar about you." They started texting, fast, like two rivers finally meeting. They talked for hours that night, about their lives, their dreams, their moms, the weird feeling they both had when they first saw each other, like they'd known each other before. Emily said, "I've always felt like I was waiting for something, or someone. I didn't know what, but when I saw you, it was like a piece clicked." Daniel said, "I've never believed in fate, but this feels like more than luck." The meeting, back to the beginning. A week later they met again, not at a coffee shop, at Maplewood General. The hospital had changed, new paint, new machines, but the old maternity wing was still there, now used for admin offices. They stood in the hallway, where they were both born. "It's weird," Emily said, looking at the floor. "Right here, this is where I started." Daniel nodded. "And me." 3 minutes later, they walked in silence to the old nursery window, now just a glass door to a storage room. Emily laughed. "We were probably in there together, tiny, screaming, not knowing a thing." Daniel smiled. "And now we're here, talking about it." She turned to him. "Do you think we were meant to meet?" He didn't answer right away. He looked at her, really looked. Her green eyes, the freckles on her nose, the way she bit her lip when she was thinking. "I don't know about meant to be," he said. "But I do know this. Out of 7 billion people, we were born at the same moment, in the same place. And then 30 years later, we found each other because I dropped my phone." Emily grinned. Best phone drop in history. They stood there, shoulder to shoulder, in the quiet hallway. No music, no dramatic lights, just two people, connected by time, chance, and something deeper they couldn't name. The payoff, a question for you. So here's the question. Was it fate, or was it just an incredible coincidence? Maybe it doesn't matter. What matters is that two people, born minutes apart, lived 30 years without knowing each other. And then, one rainy morning, a broken phone brought them together. Think about it. How many moments like that happen every day? The person who sits next to you on the bus, the stranger who holds the door, the coworker who laughs at your joke. Could any of them be your Emily or your Daniel? Could a tiny moment, a dropped phone, a wrong turn, a shared umbrella, change your life forever? We don't get to choose when fate shows up, but we can choose to pay attention. So next time you meet someone new, look a little closer. You might just be standing next to the person who was born the same day as you, 30 years ago, in the same hospital, and you just didn't know it. Until now. Call to action. Did this story make you believe in fate? Have you ever had a coincidence that changed your life? Tell us in the comments. Share this story with someone who needs a little magic today. And if you want more real-life mysteries, click next for The Stranger Who Knew My Name. Because sometimes, the universe has a plan. You just have to be ready to see it.